Hi everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. I'm gonna do my first December card club project for you today, but before we get going on that, I want to take a second to let you know I did order my catalogs this morning. I ordered a few extra, not a ton, but a few. So if you need a catalog sent to you and you don't have anybody else sending you one, let me know. I should have them in sometime next week, and they'll start going out middle to end of next week. So that is that. There's also a huge sale. It is, I'm sure it's the biggest clearance corner I have ever seen. There were 7 pages when I started this morning, and I took the first look. Stuff will sell out from that. And then there is also the last chance list. You can go to my website if you don't get my emails, and all the information is there. But join my email list because I sent a couple because I didn't want anybody to miss out on the bargains today. So this, like I said, is the first project for my December card club. I'll take a second first to tell you how my card club works. It's a subscription service. You sign up through PayPal subscriptions. You don't have to have a PayPal account. They just manage it for me. So you put whatever payment you want to use. And you know, PayPal is safe and secure, so there's nothing to worry about. It's the lowest price thing that I do where you get product. And I'm able to do that just because it's an ongoing thing every month. And so I put the money back in from when I order all your things. The free product that I get from the host rewards just goes straight back in. Mostly it gets envelopes every time because envelopes are included. And it's a lot of envelopes when you have a lot of people in your club. So this month I am doing, the stamp set I'm going to use is the Cottage Rose. So if you're in club, you can add either the stamps only or you can add the bundle. So if you need that, just go to the option page on your club page and add that. So it's a really fun stamp set. It, you know, it's winter. The 2 reasons I went with this. One, it's winter. And so we're going to kind of get out of the cold doldrums and look a little towards spring. But this one also can be very vintage. So it doesn't have to be all the spring bright colors. So we're going to kind of play with it that way. The dies in this are phenomenal. Now, if you're in my card club, you do not have to have a die cut machine. Any dies that we use on the 6 projects we make every month, I cut those out for you. Actually, my husband does most of the cutting, so we'll thank him. And you'll see on this project, it has some dies, so you'll see exactly how the girls are going to get it. So that is the add-on. Now, because it's Christmas, I wanted to do something special. In addition, the last couple of months, we've done some special add-ons, and then in celebration, we'll also do that. I should have looked at the page because, you know, sometimes this is, well, for one, I'm working on your Christmas presents. They're so cool. They're little club organizers, and you are going to love them. And then I'll do a tutorial if you want to make them for something else. But this month, we've done some like essentials where you've got envelopes and adhesives and stuff. This month, I am going to do, if you purchase all of the natural tones blends, not only do you get always when they add on their stamps or their bundles, I pick up the shipping and handling and tax as a perk of being in club. So I will pick up the shipping and handling and tax if you order all of these, and it'll be a set thing for you to order as an add-on. But you're also going to get them 20% off. So you'll get all of the natural tones blends, 20% off, and then I will pay your shipping and handling and tax. And that's just a special as a thank you for your loyalty during club. And then my girls get every 6 months and 12 months, they get loyalty gifts. So it comes on their 7th and 13th months. And those are valued at around $25. There's product, and then there's some fun stuff that's just kind of clubbish that they get. So here's what comes with club this month. So every month you get paper, and 9 times out of 10, it's a half a pack of designer series paper. So you might think that I went with the Cottage Rose, right? Because we're using that. I like to mix it up because it's easy for you to see stuff that you can do already with a set. Right? I mean, a suite, because Stampin' Up, the artists, they do such a good job, and there's lots of samples, and you can go to the Stampin' Up videos, and you can watch a full suite. So sometimes I like to mix it up. So we are going to use the Perfectly Penciled, and I do have the Cottage Rose paper sitting here, because I did kind of play around with it. So you get a half a packet of it, and part of the reason I liked it is, one, we can color. And like I said, it's the doldrums of winter, right? So if there's ever a time, and especially in December, if you just want to sit in front of your Christmas tree and you can color, this is a great coloring paper. But it also works well black and white, and you can see the flowers on this match the Cottage Rose flowers nicely. So it goes. This is just a different color scheme, and I wanted something a little different. And like I said, you can always add this later if you get this stamp set. But these colors are kind of, they're kind of the doldrums of winter. Not when we're in summer, right? Because this is one of my favorite palettes. But I wanted to brighten it up a little bit, and this paper pack will do it. The other thing I like about this is if you have too many flowers, then you can flip it over, and the other side is these great patterns. So there's lots of patterns, lots of fun. And I have done a couple of different things with this. Actually, my friend Tanya, she got this packet and she made a beautiful banner. And the technique she used was kind of this. I'll show you this and then we'll move on to the rest of the stuff that you're going to get this month. So she colored all of this on one side, and then because it was a banner on the flip side right here, this is this piece just flipped over. So when you color and it seeps through, and I'll show you, we're not going to use the seep through on this one. We will in one of your club projects. And here it is again. Here's this little piece here. And then when you flip this piece over, see right there, you get this, which is kind of a artsy kind of coloring. Like if you were going to color this, it would be really hard to stop yourself if you're like me, because we like to color, right? We actually made this one at camp last month. So that's why part of the reason I went with the paper, and I'm just in love with it. So then every month you get supplies to make 6 projects. So we do 3, and then you get the supplies for 2 of each. So I've already done one of these. So we have the Cajun Craze, and then you can see these are popped out. And then a 1/4 sheet of the shimmer white, and then you use the rest of your stuff. And they get the 6 envelopes to finish. And then every month, almost every month as well, we get a full packet of embellishments and a full packet of ribbon. I was super excited this time. Well, not super excited because these went on clearance. So I got up at 2 in the morning to ensure that I had enough. And so if people sign up for club and you're not already in it, hopefully I got enough. But I didn't want to have a lot of them because they're retiring, but they were a really good deal. So because these were a good deal, I could get spend a little bit more on ribbon than I normally spend. So it kind of evened itself out. Normally, I've wanted to use this ribbon a couple of times, but, well, it's twine. But it was, the price point was, I couldn't make it work. But because these were cheap, I could. So you can go back and add these as well. They're in the holiday catalog and part of our sale. So this is what you're going to get, these 2 things, the envelopes, the supplies for your project, of course, shipping. This month you're getting your Christmas gift. Super fun, and I can't wait to show it to you. So for this, and then I'm going to use the blends. And we're going to use those natural tone blends. And you know, they're kind of skin tone, right? That's why we came out with them, so we'd have all the skin tones. But there's no people in this bundle. But I love having all the browns. So I've gone ahead and cut this piece here. So it's 4 by 5 1/4. Which is standard card front size. And then we're going to color it. So I just kind of chose, I started out, and these, I knew I wanted to use these. This is my open packet. I have dimensional things everywhere, apparently. Every time I pick something up, another one sticks to me. So this was kind of where my color palette started. And you can see that I used a lot of those. So in Card Club, my goal is to always teach you something. Every month there should be one thing that you learn. And I feel like I failed my job if you don't find one thing that's a little bit different. But also, you get a full packet of embellishments every month. Use your embellishments. I do not want anybody to have them left. So we go 5, 7 embellishments on our projects because it looks beautiful. Also, if you have children who would like to stamp with you, right now during the sale, go over and get them their own packages of embellishments while they're super cheap. So I'm going to tell you the colors I use, and then there may be parts of this where I just fast forward to the next bit because you don't need to see me color. So for my greens, I just went with mint. So it would match this. I really wanted to use succulent, but I wanted to match my things. So you can make it work with whatever. So I'm going to take my dark, and when you color this paper, I mean, if it's a snowstorm and you're sitting there watching Pride and Prejudice or something and you just want to color, then you can most certainly take longer. But I find if you just use the brush tip lightly, I'm going to do the leaves first for you so you can see really how fast this goes. And you always miss some, right? When you do it like this, like, did I get everything? And then as you start to color in, you realize that there is stuff that you missed. Those are flowers. Get the bottom of that. So that's just a little bit of my dark mint. And then we'll just go in with the brush tip of my light mint. And literally just brush over the top. I colored that one in, and I'm pretty sure that is a bud, but some of it's going to get covered up as well when we go back and add our thing over the top. So you don't want to spend a super long time, although this paper is really pretty and you could do a whole card just with it. I thought about just getting a sentiment and just using that this time. So now I'm going to take, this is where I'm going to use my natural ones. This is Natural Tones, the 900. Again, I'm going to use my brush tip, and I am just going to color the entire background. So I don't want you to watch all of this, so in just a second, it will magically be done. I've colored it once, and again, this is the 900. Although you probably didn't forget it because I just said it to you. And now I'm just going to go back in a few places. I'm just going to add a little bit of shading. And then I'll do it once more as well after this dries. So just go in and hit it. And you can see where it maybe looks like you can see gray underneath. It's because the paper's wet and the other side of the paper is this. Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm going to do the butterflies, and I started to say that. Sometimes when you do something on one piece of paper, it's not on the next one, but I have dark daffodil and dark saffron. So you can use whatever yellows, whatever colors you want. Again, just going to hit that with a little bit of the brush tip. And you can see like my coloring, I want it to be a little bit abstract. Now I'm going to take a break from that. I should have done this first. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp. I'm going to use the big flower out of the Cottage Rose. I'm going to actually use the Cottage Rose, but I want it to have just a second to dry. It's been raining here, so anytime it's a tiny bit on the muggy side, then it can take my ink a little bit longer to dry. I don't want it to smear. Talking about that on the other one made me realize I needed to do that. It's a big stamp, so make sure you press, get everywhere. It's so pretty and so dainty. It's just a really lovely stamp set. Now that can dry, and I'll go on and I'll color that after I color this piece of paper. You can use any of the sentiments on the inside. It's a really nice stamp set as far as words go. Move this out of the way so I don't color the wrong one. Now for my big flowers, I wanted them to kind of be this Cajun-y color. On some of them, we'll hit the strawberry. We will do all blends on this, so just for those of you in club. I'm going to just hit the centers with my Cajun Craze of the one that's most like the one we're going to do, the Cottage Rose stamp. Got those. Then as I like to kind of narrow it down by what I'm looking at. So I'm going to get my light balmy blue, and that's an ode to this, even though I didn't end up using that color. Maybe on this one I will. Because on my other one, I had these like hollyhock things. And then when I went to put my thing on the card, most of it got covered up. So you can see I'm just doing those super quick. But it's okay if it looks scribbly because we're just kind of giving this a base. It's the background. It's the vintage 40s wallpaper for our flower to go on top of. Light polished pink. And on the paper, you'll see there's a little bit of gray tinge. And that's where I'm going to hit with the polished pink. There's the one that I accidentally colored green, but we'll be able to cover that right up. I'm just going to get all of these in that. I know I'm kind of mixing, and that's a butterfly, but it's okay. Nobody's going to look that closely at it. A little bit more pink on this one than my other card had, because there's a lot of those, and then our other flower, of course, ends up being that color. Now I'm going to go with light polished, or light petal pink. And you can just kind of rub those pink lines. And you can see right now it looks like it's black. That's going to go away when the paper dries. It's just the paper showing through on the other side. But look how close the petal pink matches to that background that we have with the naturals. I do need to get a new light petal pink blend. And I've already placed like 4 orders today because it's, it's new catalog day. So the way that I place them depends on how much shipping I want to pay, because we can't get our stuff quickly, but you just pay for it. So I've done dark Cajun Craze already. Let's do Calypso Coral. And on this one, I'm just going to kind of hit, oh, see, there's a leaf I missed. Just kind of hit those gray areas on the big flowers with this. I'm not going to do the little flowers. And you can do any, part of the reason I'm using all of the colors is so you don't feel like you have to have them all. Use whichever ones you have. Now I'm going to switch to my bullet tip because I'm going to get, this is light pumpkin pie. And we're not doing art projects here. We are literally just kind of smudging this on here. I am going to make this so it blends. And then I've got some light pale papaya. This time let's go in with this. See how quick it is and how beautiful? Now, by all means, if this kind of coloring bothers you, I know some of my art tends to be more laid back. If you want to take time and color them all perfectly, by all means do. I just want to get the paper done. I don't want the paper to be the star of the show. I want the cottage rose on top. I'm going to hit these again with the dark. So you can see when you just let it dry a second and go back and just kind of give a quick brush with that. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? And we're going to do the same thing this time, and we're going to use bullet tips so I can get a little bit more control. Now this little baby's breath right here, I'm going to take the blue. I'm just going to use my my brush tip and just kind of hit the top of that. I just want it to kind of be wispy air behind them. And then for the center here, I'm going to go back to my dark colors. So here's the dark Cajun Craze. And I'm just going to kind of draw lines with that on here. And then I'm just going to hit a few of these places. So it'll end up when I blend it all, it'll have a little bit of the Cajun through that. Then we have the dark Calypso Coral. They're very similar colors when you're using it wispy like this. Are there any more places where the flower folds over? That could be the only one. And then I'm gonna, this is my 300. And this will kind of give it that vintage winter flower look. Like we're not going super bright pinks, flamingo and strawberry and all those colors because it's going to be, it'll make a nice winter birthday card. And then let's do, this is 800. Here's where I'm just going to blend any place that I put a line. I'm going to hit it with this one. So there's that. And then let's get, I'm going to go over here real quick with my 900 and see these places where I made it be darker. Just hit it again. It's going to give it some nice texture on that. And then I also want to make sure while I'm thinking about it, see how that does the back. So we will do that on one of the projects, but this one I really liked the way all of that looked. And then let's go with our petal pink. So who would have thought that those, the natural tone colors would work so well with the pinks and the oranges, but they do. And then I have the 100, which is the darkest in that. And I'm just gonna get these little branches. Then if you buy the dies, you can run it through here. If you don't buy the dies, then just cut it out by hand. Obviously, I have the die, so I'm going to cut it out with that. Look at this. You would not necessarily know that that's not the paper that goes with these stamps. And I already know what stamps that I'm going to use when I show you your alternate in a couple of days. It's going to be a celebration set. So let's take our Cajun. This one isn't quite as vintagey as this color scheme because I was trying to match my embellishments. That was my goal. I'm going to take this Lay this on here. I'm going to go ahead. There's no ribbon that we're tying around on this one, so I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this on here. Isn't that pretty? And then with these, it's like, what direction do it go? Does it go? On this one, I like the butterfly to go up when it can, but on my other one, I was going to lose all of the blue. So again, I want my blue to be up here. So we might lose a little bit of the butterfly. And this time I cut it because you cut this piece. I decided I wanted to see more of the cardstock and less of the Cajun. So just this little strip. So it's 4 by 5.5. And then I'm going to take my dark smoky slate. First, let me get this to lay flat. I have so many blends laying here, I just covered everything up I was using. I'm going to take my dark smoky slate, and I'm just going to kind of give it another little bit of a vintage feel. You want to use your brush tip. And then just wallop it. I'm doing it before I put my flower on because I don't want my other flower to have that. You can use black. It would be a little bit more stark, so the smoky slate works well. You could also use the dark brown or the Cajun. Now I have these. So when you get them in club, you often have to pop them out like this. We do some of the work for you, but not all of it. And then it's up to you if you want to leave those in. You can often leave them in. On this one, because again, I want all of this beauty to show through of my paper that I just spent time coloring. So I'm gonna pop them out. My brush isn't laying here. So I'm gonna flip them on here anyways, and then I'll just pop them out with this because I have my gooby tip in and not my brush tip. And I have 3 take your pick tools. So one of them has the tip, I just don't see it laying here. It's probably buried under my blends. Now we're almost done. You have all of the colors of ribbon, and look, most of them will match. I really like the vanilla one, but I have all of these left from past classes. So I had some black that was just loose. So I'm gonna use that. So I'm gonna just kind of wrap it around my fingers like this so you don't have to tie a bow with this. And however it lands is how they're gonna stay. Add my Seal Plus there. And then when you put it on here, just kind of pull them so they're not all right on top of each other. And then add a little bit of Seal Plus over here. All this is going to get covered up in just a second by our flower. So I'm going to add that over the top of my little mess here. And then we'll figure out where this goes. That looks pretty good, huh? This one, I kept a lot more of the blue. I'll show you what I mean in the other one in just a second. So I'll use some blue embellishments on this one. If you haven't colored blends on the shimmery cardstock, you're missing out because it's beautiful. Stick that on there, and then we have this little one. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit. When you use the Seal Plus, it comes off in like little strips. See that? Which is perfect for holding this in place. And then let's get our embellishments. So I do have a few more of the petal pink color, but this time I'll add some blue as well. Perfect. I'm gonna put 5 on here, so let's do 2 of that color. Let's do 1 of the petal pink. Put that right in the center, and then a couple of the green. I think these embellishments, they came with the gnomes, like they're part of the gnome suite, but I think they have a fun vintage feel to them. So there is your first club project for this month. So here's this one, and you can see it was so random in how you color and literally just brushing that color on there, but it is so pretty. This one I spent a little bit more time blending than this one. I might touch that one up before I take the picture and send it to you. But see, on this one, all my blue is under here, and there was no way to arrange the card, so my butterflies look a little bit upside down, but it doesn't matter. It makes this pop and really be the focal point. And any of these colors, like if you use this vanilla, it would be really pretty on there as well. So if you are interested in joining my card club, I'm almost at capacity, but every month people can take a break, or you can cancel anytime you want. So I have a few more spots than I had last month. So we're good. So if you want to sign up, you have to do it by the 10th. If you're in club, you have to add your optional add-ons by the 10th as well. And normally club is out by the 26th of the month, but since the 25th is Christmas, my goal is to get it out early this month. I just have to get your Christmas presents done, as well as the club projects. But that is part of the reason I don't have any other online class this month. I'm doing my free online classes, but I'm not doing any additional ones that require mailing. I already have to mail your catalogs. It's a little overwhelming. I don't like to think about my things to-do list. So everybody have a great day. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll catch you back here later. Bye.